Hi, welcome to my employee data record organizer. This is a set of Excel macros that will take some raw employee data, which is based on a real life scenario that we had in my current organization. It has errors in many of these records, and those error records need to be extracted and associated with the employees that go with those. So to explain further, in this sheet 1, this represents raw employee data. I just created 100 or so rows here, but this could be thousands, and typically is tens of thousands, over 100,000 rows actually, of raw data here. Every row that starts with a 2 is an employee identifying row. It contains a social security number, which is just a dummy set of letters here, followed by an employee's name, and then 2 spaces, which the macro uses to identify a break where the name happens. And then below that, everything starting with a 5 is data records. And for payroll data, for example, this could be hours worked, or the pay period numbers could be contained in here, overtime. But there may be errors in this. And this is payroll data, but these macros the demonstration is meant to give you an idea of how these macros could be adjusted for a similar use case in maybe a different type of scenario. But what happened is that some of these data records had errors, duplicates, and so forth. And we've extracted data records. They start with a 5 here, and these ones, actually the extracted ones, contain the social security numbers. There's actually a couple errors here, so I have to delete this. Oh, it's okay if it's there. Never mind that the social security numbers on a couple of these are not full numbers. It's okay. So these contain the social security numbers, and it's going to match the employee identifying records and place those into this sheet. And I'll demonstrate that. This used to be a manual process where we would have to look through here and say, oh, okay, there's a different social security number happening there, or insert a couple of rows, find employee BBB, and then there they are, copy that, paste it in, and do this for everyone. And if you've got hundreds of employees, this could take some time. So that's what this macro will do. I'm going to execute that. It's going to insert a couple of rows and find the appropriate employee identifying row with the name, and put it in here so that we can quickly see which employees had how many error records and what those records were. So if I click on the developer tab here and the macros button, it's the first macro that will do this, and we'll go ahead and run it. And there it goes. You can see where it changed from social security numbers starting with the A's. It inserted the appropriate name row, and then for the next one and the next one, it did it all the way down. And again, this is a small example, but it could be hundreds or thousands of employees. It works also if there's just one record. That's not a problem. And this is actually hard-coded for 50,000 records, but you could increase that as much as you need. The dynamic record counting was causing an error, so that's why the maximum number of error records is hard-coded, but that can be increased in the VBA code. If you want to look at the VBA code, it is here, and there are 3 modules. These module 1, 2, and 3 are step 1, 2, and 3 in the macros list. So you can go in there and adjust or change the code as you'd like. I'm going to run step 2 here, and this will insert the counts for how many records, and we can quickly see there are 4 in fact records here, and there are 2 records here, 8 down here. So it counts how many records occurred for each one of these employees. And then step 3 is going to give us a summary of that. So it's going to count the records and just extract those names and put the number of records there. So that's how it works. The next, I'm planning to add a bash script version and Java version just so you can see how this same functionality can be applied in different environments. But it was helpful and handy, and hopefully this can help you too. Feel free to use it. Thank you.